Hey traders, John Howell here. We're going to be looking at, I want to share with you a few things that I think is important as a trader and some things that I have to do myself as well too, to make sure that I'm staying on top of the market and also making sure that I'm making the best decisions for me. So let's get straight into it. All right, traders, before I do start, I want to play a little clip that I actually put up on my Facebook recently. I'm going to play this little clip here and then I'm going to come back. So I'm about to head into doing another boxing session with my coach. And on the way here, I was thinking about life, right? And sometimes the worst thing that can happen to us seems like tends to be the best thing that happened to us, right? Sometimes getting that punch in the face is actually a gift, right? Because 2 months later, 6 months later, 5 years later, that punch in the face that we get in life ends up to be the thing that helps us to grow, to become more, to learn more, so we can experience and take things on. So sometimes the worst thing in our life, or we perceive to be the worst thing in our life, and getting punched in the face seems to be an actual really big gift to help us to become and achieve everything that our soul desires. Now, the key to that, the whole key to that is while you're getting punched in the face, is to get your brain to recognize that this is a gift instead of looking back 5 years later and then looking back, right? So that's always the thing for me as well too, right? I get punched in the face just like everything else. I have shit going on just like everyone else, right? So I'm always trying to remember in the moment while I'm getting punched in the face by life, right? And by a lot of things, I'm trying to always remember that this is actually a gift. And I know just 6 months from now, 12 months from now, a few years from now, I'm going to look back and say, while that sucked, I'm so grateful that I went through that. Alrighty traders, so the reason why I wanted to start off with this video today with that clip right there is because I find that a lot of people are afraid, or a lot of people, you know, they're trying to avoid making mistakes or getting punched in the face, as I just said, you know, because they think it's so bad, right? You know, they may lose money in the stock market or whatever, and it's so bad for that in that environment. Now, the one thing that I have, as I said on the video, right, the one thing that I want to encourage you to do is don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to get punched in the face, right? Like, for example, when it comes to my trading, right, I've been punched in the face by these markets so many times. And if you are going through a hard time, then obviously we want to learn, we want to adapt, we want to keep getting better, of course, right? But if it wasn't for the universe punching us in the face, so to speak, right, giving us the slap, and that could be anything from a breakup with a girlfriend, that could be from you know, financial setbacks, that could be family members, that could be even friends who you truly relied on and you did so good by, but then they went and stabbed you in the back. You're like, how could you do that, right? Or just a lot of things in general, right? Whenever we get that punch in the face, so to speak, a lot of the times in the moment, as I said on the video, a lot of the times in the moment, we don't know what's going on, but we know it's going to help us. So I really want to start off with the video today with that in mind, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are so confused about these markets. I've been personally trading the markets now for 19 years myself. Okay, and it's actually been a long time since I've been punched in the face with the markets. In fact, my last my trading right now has been incredible, right? I haven't been punched in the face by the markets. I've been punched in the face by other things, right? I actually did a sparring session this week for my boxing, because I've got a boxing match coming up soon. And if you are interested in keeping up to date with my boxing guys and my match and my training and so on and so forth, I think there's a link I think the third link in the description there. That's actually a link to my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page. You can friend me to that there if you want to keep up to date with me personally and about my boxing and so on and so forth. But anyway, I was doing sparring, and obviously when it comes to sparring, right, I'm going to get punched in the face. But through getting punched in the face, guess what? I become better. And I know a lot of traders out there right now, when it relates to trading, you're getting punched in the face, right? You are not sure what to do. You're not sure how to view these markets. And that happens, right? For me personally, as I said, I've been trading the markets for 19 years. Next year will be my 20th year trading the markets. And it took me a long time to do that. So if you are going through a hard time, please do not quit. Okay, because the hardest thing about one of the hardest things about trading the markets is having a biased view of the markets and not being flexible with that view, right? So that's one of the hardest things about trading, because we go, no, this is happening, right? And then what we look for is we look for bias confirmation. We look for bias confirmation, meaning if we think the stock market's going to go up, we will ignore or trash anything to say the stock market's going to go down. And we will look for all the reasons why our thoughts and our thinking is correct, right? Our bias confirmation. And obviously that's pretty dangerous, right? Because obviously we're not always right. And the stock market is going to slap you if you are wrong. So now traders, whenever you are viewing the markets, there's really four main areas that I've noticed when it comes down to your personal trading, right? There's a whole bunch of mistakes that you're making that's stopping you from moving forward. There's what we call the chart reading strategies. How do you actually read the chart itself? There's the trading system side of things, right? What actually are the patterns that produce like over 90% success rate? And what are the type of what we call trade management and risk management techniques? And also what is the actual mindset side of things, right? So that's the reason why I've actually created a free trading course, and I'm actually giving you free membership to the trading course. That first thing in the description there, guys, I want you to go get access to that, because if I'm seeing so many people that are emailing me right now that are getting really smacked or punched in the face by these markets right now, and I feel for you, right? Now, for me personally, I'm not getting punched in the face right now. I'm actually just coming off one of my most successful weeks in probably the last few months, right? I've had 3 trades on the stock market, all successful trades, and I'm just coming off my most successful trade out of the futures market yesterday for the last couple of months. So I'm having an incredible, phenomenal week. Now, I'm not saying that to brag with you guys. I'm just showing you that if you are struggling right now, guys, I can help you, okay? That first thing in the description there, guys, I can teach you the biggest mistakes you're making right now, okay? Because I've created the 30 mistakes and how to overcome them. I'm going to teach you about the chart reading techniques. I'm going to teach you about what are the exact patterns to look for that produce really high probability of having a really good return, the trade management, and so on and so forth. First thing in the description there, guys, click on that and you can go get access to that right now. So looking at the markets, as I was saying before, is that one of the biggest things and one of the hardest things about trading the markets is having that bias confirmation and always trying to stay true to that instead of being flexible with the markets. I'll give you a really good, real life example, okay? So looking at the markets right now, okay? Looking at the markets, and I could use any market through here, but one thing I want to do is I want to bring up, say, TMF, right? Here's an example of TMF. And so for me, right, I was long TMF, okay? I just deleted my moving average. So I was long TMF, and I was long for many months. And when I saw TMF, now again, guys, I am long TMF. I've got a really big position. I was long TMF, should I say. I'm not long anymore. I haven't been long for over a week now. Anyway, I actually let all my private clients know what I'm actually doing when it comes to my trading, and I show them my trades and so on and so forth. If you are interested, guys, in getting actual private coaching from me every single day, second link in the description there, guys, go fill out the application form if you want to get private coaching from me, and I will personally call you to see if you're a good fit. That second link in the description there, guys. But the purpose of me bringing this up is I want to share with you how I used to, my ignorance around trading and not being flexible and being so dogmatic about one way, and I wanted to be right, caused me to actually not do really well out of trading, right? So the thing that I want to talk to you about here is, as I said before, I was long TMF, and I knew that the market, even though my thoughts and my thinking that the TMF was going to go up, the TLT market was going to go up, that means the interest rates were going to go down. If I was honest with myself, and again, guys, in the past, I would totally ignore what the market was telling me because I wanted to be right, and me being right and me having an ego about me being right caused me to lose a lot of money in the past. So for example, here is that I was long around the $8 mark, right? I was long the TMF, I was long TMF for many months. I kept adding, and around $8, I was long, right? I was long. Now, one thing that I did is one thing I did by looking at the markets here, right? And by seeing what we can see here, one thing I did was this. Right, one thing I did is that I did a video back a few days ago saying about TMF, that TMF right now had a big breakdown and had a break back up as well too. We're getting a bit of a drop through here. If TMF does not hold here and go up and we break down, that means this is a continuation of the downtrend, and I do not want to be part of this anymore. I know that I got it wrong for my investing portfolio, and I need to make an adjustment really quickly, right? And so then when we did do that, when we did actually have this drop coming down through here, on this red candle here, I simply got out of all my positions because I knew that we're about to go for a big spike in the interest rates, and we're about to go for a big drop on the bond market, TLT, TMF, and so on and so forth. But in the past, traders, this thing here would have cost me a lot of money. But because I wasn't so ignorant and arrogant about me being right, and say, you know what, I simply got this wrong, I need to just cut my losses right now and put the money away. As you can see, right, that instead of me losing what it is right now, it was around about that 780 or something there. As you can see, right, I only lost around about 10% of my trade, of my entire portfolio, right? Now, if I didn't listen to that, right, then now my account would be down 20% from basically where I entered there, right? Now, I do believe interest rates are going to come down eventually, but for my investing portfolio and for me actually positioning myself and seeing what's happening, the market was saying something different. So I knew I had to make a correct and intelligent decision and not based off my ego, right? Because my ego was saying, I've been saying on YouTube, I'm expecting the market to go up. I'm expecting rates to come down, blah, blah, blah. But when the market started to perform differently than what I thought, I knew that I was wrong and I had to get out. And so this is where I used to get punched in the face so many times with these markets. And now we can see things like the 30-year. 30 years absolutely starting to take off big time. Even the 10-year, right, is taking off big time. Now, I was really confident that we're about to see a big move in the interest rates back up and a big drop in TLT because of what I actually know about reading these charts. Again, guys, that first thing in the description there, a big bulk of that actual trading course I talked to you about. There's about 3 or 4 videos there walking you through the most powerful stuff when actually viewing and reading these markets, because we want to be able to make sure that even if we're investing in the markets, we want to make really good decisions. And as I said before, guys, one of the biggest things that's stopping you from moving forward in these markets is letting your ego get involved. The market has no ego, okay? When you know you're wrong, and get out. Because I promise you, there's been so many times in my past when I knew I got it wrong and I could have got out for even a 50% loss, and I'd have an option expire on me. Dear sir, you died. Dear sir, I died. In the name of Johnny Howe, I died, right? Do you know how many option contracts I've had that happen to me? You know, where I'd put down a $20,000 position and I could at least got $10,000 back, but I was so arrogant and ignorant around my own thinking that I still could have got out about a 50% loss there. So that's the reason why I wanted to share this video for you guys here, is because I'm seeing a lot of traders out there really struggling right now with your trading. You're really having a hard time with these markets. Like, is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? And you're watching a lot of YouTube videos of like myself trying to find that next quick tip that's going to do really well for you. And as you can see, that's actually not a really good thing from there. So I wanted to share this video with you today, guys, something a bit different, to sort of walk you through that. If you're getting punched in the face in the markets right now, one, that's actually just normal to happen, especially for your first few years. As I said before, 19 years in the markets here, and it took me probably a good 5+ years, if I'm honest with you, a good 10 years of going through some real big bullshit, mainly of my own. One of those things of what I'm talking about today, of having that mentality of trying to be right all the time and fighting the market, right? And thinking and having that cape on the back saying, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. Right? So yes, you can be right, and fantastic. Give yourself a pat on the back when you are right. But when you are wrong, just admit it that you got it wrong, because when you do admit it you got it wrong, you can definitely save yourselves a lot of heartache, and I promise you can save yourselves a lot of money. Instead of me being down 25% right now on that one position, which would have cost me a lot of money, I was only down about 8 to 10%, and that saved me a lot of money so far. I will look to re-enter, by the way, back into the TMF and CLT market, just not right now. But by removing my ego and say, you know what, I got this wrong, I need to do that. This is how you should be approaching your markets and the way you're trading.